A wonderful good morning and happy all-time high to all Bitcoin and crypto fans. We did it. Yes, we managed to climb even higher overnight. At the peak, we reached 111,800 US dollars. That is just unbelievable. At the moment, there's a slight pause, but it's not worth mentioning. In yesterday's video, I said, if we continue this trend, this is exactly what will happen. Yesterday's video had an incredibly low number of views. Guys, please support me a bit here. Above all, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave some comments and like everything. Because right now, bots are taking over here. These comment bots with their fake crypto traders and coins are becoming so dominant that a few genuine comments would really make me happy. All right, but now back to the topic. What are we going to look at? We're going to look at the trend continuation, the price target. If you didn't see it yesterday, I'll show you again today how I see it now and where I think our next stop will be. If we actually climb a bit higher, it's really not that far away. But there's something else we'll look at as well. James Wyon? Guys, this guy has a 1.1 billion Bitcoin long position at 188,000 US dollars. He's increased this position again. I've got him live now so you can see it. I'll pull it up quickly. Here, yeah, I just looked him up on Hyperdash and he really does have it. He's currently 35 million in profit and actually has 1.137 billion with 10,200 Bitcoins in long positions. And you shouldn't forget the other one either. This K paper, he's long that one too. I caught that one last time and back then he was actually still in the red. Now he actually has $7 million in profit here as well. But yesterday, at one point, he was down 21 million when the price dropped. And then at some point, he increased the position again. And now he just has an incredible 34 million with a 1.1 billion position. I've never seen anything like this before, you know? I think this is the first time I'm experiencing something like this live. But of course, it's super exciting to watch how things develop for them. If you want to follow them, if you have X, follow me on X as well. But James Wyon, that's the guy, you know, he also shares a bit about what he does, when he does it, and how he goes about things. So really brilliant, and he's also caused a bit of a stir on X. Otherwise, BlackRock invested another 427 million in Bitcoin yesterday. Yes, invested, and 33 million in Ethereum. But what's really exciting now, guys, is that Bitcoin, we have the Bitcoin dominance and it has finally done exactly what we've been waiting for. It's finally dropped below this rising support, which is now acting as resistance, and it's continuing to move downward. Possibility, hey, if we take trend support, that we get to about 3.8%, that Bitcoin will continue. Why is this important? If we look at it, Bitcoin has just hit a new all-time high, while the altcoins, Ethereum is only at 2,600, Solana is only at 177, and XRP is only at $2.40. It's about time that we at least reach the previous all-time highs or go beyond them, and that's why everyone is hoping for the altcoins. And it would be so important because just imagine if Bitcoin now says, hey, that's enough for us, and we just correct downward. And Bitcoin makes a move downward, maybe back to 100,000 where there's still a lot of liquidity, and we enter this price range here. Just imagine what that would mean for the altcoins if they were to fall along with it. How severe the price drop would be for those altcoins. And that's something we definitely don't want to see. That's why everything should continue as it is now so that we really get this trend continuation, keep going parabolically upward after all these consolidations and really move forward now. That would of course be optimal so that we can finally see new highs in the altcoins and really benefit here as well. I've already taken some profits. With Bitcoin, I already realized profits from spot at an average of 102,000, just under 103,000. I still have the 100x long leverage positions here, which honestly should be scaled, I have to say. So I can get a bit more out of them, and all the trading bots are still running, you know, still working very well. And here, Ethereum, the realized profit is now 3,350. The good thing is, the more Ethereum rises, since I've already realized about 1.3 Ethereum myself, the realized profit increases as well, just like the unrealized profit, which is now at almost $5,000. And that also goes up since it's in Ethereum. That's why this is very exciting. Bitcoin, the 2x, even though I have an entry at $85,000, I haven't scaled yet, which is a real shame. I would have had a few opportunities now, but somehow I'm still curious about the $100,000. If we don't reach that anymore, that's fine too. Everything is perfect just the way it is. I also still have a short position open on Bitunix. I'll show you that again in the next video. Yes, it will be compounded at $115,000. But actually, I'm now building up a bit of a short there. Why? For what reason? Because I now see that we're not that far away from possible highs anymore. Because I also said in the video yesterday, which so few people saw, that's why I'm showing you again now, a possible price target. And I really only have this short position open to a small extent. What we have, if we extend the Fibonacci, we had very good support at the 1.618 level yesterday. And I'm going to zoom this out a bit so we can see it closer to the chart so you can see exactly what I mean. And at the 1,618 level, the support we had, that will be the next price target at around, well, it's not drawn in exactly, but at around $123,000, $124,000, which again lines up with this divergence that we have or had, which might extend if it doesn't break. That would be ultra optimal, guys. But that we are now going up this high, that's still my theory. Yes, that we might pause somewhere in this price range, maybe see a reversal, unless it happens earlier, but that would currently be a possibility. I'll show you something else in a moment, yes. Because then we have this divergence below, which on the RSI gives us the possibility to bounce. And that's really brilliant, right? And there's not much room left also for the altcoins. Altcoins would now have to rise massively so that what I just mentioned, that we want to avoid a scenario where altcoins fall even lower than they already have, doesn't happen. So that Bitcoin simply says we're going to cross over here and also cross over here, and we leave this possible divergence, it's just a theory, behind us. That would be truly optimal. That would be the current long-term perspective. But we also have another possibility, a potential upward trend that we have here, where we could once again encounter rising resistance, which would be around 115 to 116, at most 117,000, if we include that now. That would be one possibility. So what would be the optimal scenario then? That we get a reversal here, maybe drop back down into this price range and then move upwards and say we continue to rise. What would we have then? I hope you might see it right away. We would have the possibility of an inverse head and shoulders here, which could continue to move higher. And that would be really awesome if we could achieve that so that we have this inverse head and shoulders here. At this point, I am still very optimistic that we will continue to rise, at least reach these price ranges here, 115, 117, up to $124,000, so that we can then see what happens. How strong is the momentum? Will there be a global event that causes us to go down, or will we simply keep going and finally bring the altcoins along with us? Because guys, Ethereum still has so much room left compared to its current cycle all-time high. Also Chainlink, Cardano, Solana, XLP. Solana is still just $100 away, more than $100 from its all-time high. XLP still absolutely needs to surpass its $3.40. We've seen way too little from the altcoins so far for us to see new all-time highs there, while Bitcoin is hitting one all-time high after another. And that's really already for the, what do we have here? First time, second time, third time, actually fourth time, because we had a correction here, fourth new all-time high. So really, really awesome. And at the moment, we're just playing out this wonderful price action perfectly. If we look at this on the weekly chart, it's simply that we have here the cleanest. This is textbook price action that we have. Yes, if we look at it like this on the weekly chart, so that we can just keep moving higher. The next target would then be 110,000. That's what could happen. It doesn't even have to go down that far and could just keep going up. How long will this bullish momentum last now? Of course, it would be crazy if we reached 150,000 or something like that. But if we really keep going parabolically like this, then institutions will buy in just like before. You mustn't forget that, okay? We are in a different cycle now. There has never been so much institutional volume from all the ETFs, from the government reserves that are being planned and so on, which of course can push the price to completely different levels than ever before. And that's why things remain exciting with Bitcoin, even though I've already sold some with an average price of around $130,000, I've already realized quite a bit. But I still hold the majority of my Bitcoins and will gradually sell a little more as the price continues to rise. And in any case, I will never sell everything because you never know with Bitcoin what might happen. If we get some kind of hyper cycle for whatever reason, that could go anywhere. It would of course be suboptimal if I didn't have any Bitcoins left at that point. So be smart about this. I'll make another video explaining exactly how I approach this. Because only when you realize your gains have you actually taken profits. You never know. You know it. It can happen that fast. One day to the next, bad news comes out, everything crashes down, and you're back in the red with your spot position that you bought because you said you wouldn't sell. And then you think, hey, I just have no luck with crypto. No, you just have to realize some of your gains here and there, at least partially, then it gets exciting. Bitcoin, yeah, what I'm seeing right now on the weekly chart, hey, the crossover just keeps going. It's just so awesome. Every time we had this crossover on the MACD, we saw a massive pump, and I hope that's going to happen again now. With that in mind, enjoy these highs. Who knows how long we'll have them? I'd be happy if it lasts longer, but the momentum we have right now is incredible. And until next time, ciao, ciao.